Hey guys! Are you looking for a way to decorate your backpacks or bags, pencil cases, keys for your locker and notebooks? Because in this video, I'm going to show you how to create 4 different charms with perler beads that you can use for anything you like. And since I had so much fun and created so many charms, I will show you even more designs in another video that is on my second channel. So if you can't get enough of this cuteness, check out my other video after watching this tutorial. For this project, you're going to need midi and mini-sized perler or hama beads, boards for the beads, ironing paper but you can use baking paper as well, an embroidery needle and jump rings. And you will also need pliers and keychain rings if you want to make your creations into keychains. Let's start with some easy designs and create some hearts first. I used a toothpick to string the beads that I need. This way it will be easier to apply them to the board. Then start off by placing 1 bead to the board and then add 3 beads diagonally next to the first bead. If you have that, repeat the step on the other side. Now add 1 more bead on top of the upper bead and then place 2 additional beads diagonally and in a row next to it. Now repeat the same on the other side. If you have that, go ahead and add 3 white beads into the right corner. This is going to be the reflection of light. Now all we have to do is filling in the outline with more beads. I chose to add a lighter shade of the same color, but you can use any color you like. And you get cute hearts. To create ice cream cones, I used mini beads so the ice cream won't get too huge. I placed 3 beads next to each other and then added 2 more beads next to them on each side but 1 row below them. If you have that, add another bead to each side, but 1 row below them as well. After that, add 3 beads next to the bead you just applied, and also 1 row below. Do this on each side. Now add 2 beads next to this row, but also 1 row below. If you have that, start adding more beads in a row next to these 2 beads to create a curve. You need 2 beads in a row and 3 beads next to it, but diagonally, starting 1 row above. If you have that, do the same but back to front and then complete the bottom part of the ice cream by adding 1 more bead to fill in the gap. Now add 4 white beads for the reflection of light in the upper right corner like this. Place 3 beads diagonally and the last bead right below the 3rd bead. Now all you need to do is filling in the outline we just created. I used the same color just in a lighter shade. After that, we can go ahead and create the second scoop of ice cream. You almost have to repeat the same steps, but here you can actually experiment and try to create the waves a little bit different. Now line out the upper area with the same color and then start filling in the area. But if you want, you can also add 2 white beads for the reflection of light in the right corner. And now it's time to create the ice cream cone. First, you want to add dark brown beads below the ice cream to outline the cone. If you have that, start adding 2 beads that are one above the other like that. Create a diagonal line until you reach a center and then place 1 more bead. From this point, do the same on the other side to create a triangle shape. Now add another dark bead to complete the triangle and now you can go ahead and fill in the inside of the cone. And your ice cream cone is finished. And to create your favorite minion, I'm going to show you 2 different ways. For the first design, I started off by placing 6 big yellow beads in a row. After that, I added 2 beads in a diagonal line next to each edge. Now add 2 black beads, one above the other, and continue the line with 3 more yellow beads. Leave out 1 spot and then add 4 more yellow beads. Do the same on the other side. If you have that, take gray colored beads and place 1 bead below the 3rd yellow bead. Then place 2 more beads in a diagonal line to the left side. Add another bead below the last bead and then add another 2 beads in a diagonal line. And then repeat the step on the other side. Now connect the circle with a black line by filling in the gap with more black beads. If you have that, place 4 black beads right in the center to create a square. With the rest of the black beads, you can create a smile right below the circle by leaving out 1 row in between. Now go ahead and fill in the eye and the area around it with white and yellow beads. Also place 1 row of yellow beads below the smile and then add 2 additional beads that are above one another next to the outer yellow line like that. Now we can go ahead and add blue beads to create the overall. You want to create 2 rows with 6 and 3 rows with 8 blue beads. If you have that, Add 2 more beads next to each other to create the legs. And now all we have to do is adding more black beads to create hands and feet. And you are done with the first design. For the other design, I used mini-sized beads and placed 6 beads for the top part and then added 2 more beads to each side to create a diagonal line. After that, I added 2 more beads to the right side and 1 additional bead to the center by leaving out 2 spots on each side. If you have that, fill in these spots with gray colored beads and then create the goggles by placing 1 pair of beads on the left, bottom and right side like that. Then add 4 black beads next to the goggles. After that, I went ahead and added 4 beads on the left side and connected this row with another row by using 7 beads. Then I added 4 beads to the right side to create the outline. I wanted to create the face first, so it's easier to create the smile. I placed the left side of the mouth 2 rows below the goggles, and for the right side I left out only 1 row. Now you can create the body and overall the same way as we did with the first design. For the overall strings I only used 2 beads instead of 3 as I was showing in the beginning. Don't forget to create the eyes as well. For this step I placed 1 black bead to the upper right corners and filled in the rest with white beads. Finish off your minion by filling in any gaps and you are done. And if you want to create a bow, create a circle with black mini beads by placing 3 beads next to each other like that. Now you kinda want to create a staircase with more beads by placing 1, then 2 and then 4 beads in a row by diagonally like that. And do the same on the other side as well. If you have that, go ahead and add 3 pairs of beads below the stairs we just created. And then we want to create a line of 6 beads on each side. But 1 pair of beads should be placed 1 row beside the rest like that. Then go ahead and add 2 and 3 beads in a diagonal line to create a corner. Do the step on each side. This is optional, but you can add 3 more beads on each side to create an arrow that is facing towards the center. And then just go ahead and fill in the outline with beads in the color of your choice. But we can also create the ends of the bow. For this step, add 1 bead and then 3 pairs of beads in a diagonal line like so. If you have that, add 1 bead next to the second last bead, and then 2 beads next to each other but 1 row above. Now you just have to connect this line with the bow by adding 2 more beads in a diagonal line. Do the step on the other side as well and your bow is finished. If you are happy with the designs, place a sheet of ironing or baking paper on top. Let everything cool down for a bit and then remove them from the board. If you want, you can place the charms between 2 sheets of ironing or baking paper and iron them on the other side as well. And since I wanted to prevent the charms to start being wavy while cooling down, I placed a heavy book on top and then let everything cool down completely. And your creations are done. Now you can create them into charms by adding jump rings. If your design has no holes or they are just too small, use your embroidery needle and pierce through your design with it. Then open your jump ring and pull it through the hole you just created. Since I wanted to make keychains, I added the keychain ring to the jump ring and closed everything with my pliers. And the keychain is finished. I think these designs are so cute and just perfect to decorate your keychains, bags, and to create them into a necklace as well. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If so, be sure to like this video, I would really appreciate that. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any of my fun and easy weekly videos. Have a wonderful day everyone and see you next week.